Everyone knows that the Bang Tao area is the most rapidly developing, European-style, well-maintained district on the entire island of Phuket. But today, in this episode, I would like to focus specifically on a small part of it, within which both the highest capitalization and rental rates are expected over the next 5 to 15 years. And here's why. Right now, we are at Catch Beach Club, which is ranked among the top 50 best beach clubs in the world. Today is Sunday and there is a Sunday brunch happening here, which not only brings people together, but also lets them enjoy exquisite seafood and delicacies as well as this divine sea. Of course, Catch Beach Club is an undeniable magnet for people because events are held here not only during the day, but also in the evening. Parties, events, and at night with DJs as well. But right now, we are on Bang Tao Beach, and just look, it's May. And many people believe that in May, it definitely rains. The weather is bad, and it's impossible to swim. But that's not the case. The sea is perfect, completely calm. And behind us is this entire huge cape. This is one of the most expensive and luxurious 5-star resorts, not only on Bang Tao Beach, but on the entire island of Phuket, Amanpuri. You won't find Amanpuri in any public listings, not on Booking, Airbnb, Agoda, or anywhere else, because it's where celebrities like Beyoncé, Jay-Z, and other oligarchs, politicians, and stars stay. For example, this year I met Domenico Dolce there, and we exchanged greetings politely. So people like that are there very often. And it is precisely from this point to the next point, which we will identify, located right in the lagoon, that the very underrated plot of land is situated. Within this location, you can consider making a purchase. First, this is a plot of land that is as large as 10 rai. This is the very last plot of land on Bang Tao Beach, where something can still be developed or built. You can acquire the land either as full ownership or on a long-term lease. If you are considering a long-term lease, you can register it in your own name as an individual for a period of 30 years, plus the right to extend for another 30 years, depending on your agreement. But the safer option is, of course, to register it as full ownership. This is done through a Thai company. Within a Thai company, 49% must be owned by a foreigner, and 51% goes to a Thai partner. But let me remind you that using nominees is now strictly prosecuted in Thailand and is a criminal offense, so there are legal, transparent ways to arrange ownership. For example, we arrange a joint venture. This is when the Thai partners contribute, for example, their land resources, and the foreigner invests money for development and construction, so in such a partnership, everyone profits. An alternative joint venture option is when I have Thai families who are ready to invest in your development and also become founders and partners. And in the same way, you share the profits from your development with them. Moreover, all 10 RAI can be used not only for beach clubs on the first coastline, but also for developments up to 12 meters high. As a rule, that's 4 floors. This is also the very epicenter of the beach clubs. Until recently, the most talked about and popular beach clubs here were Maya, Yuhi Namat, and Solis. But unfortunately, people who neglect proper legal registration of their establishments eventually face demolition sooner or later. That's why I recommend that you handle everything transparently and in full legal compliance from the very beginning. Right behind us is Catch Beach Club and their second project, Lazy Coconut, which already went through such stress many years ago when they had a building on Surin Beach. And as you can see, since Catch and Lazy Coconut are now safe and no one has touched them, it means that the guys have indeed learned from their mistakes. This area has already become very popular specifically for its nightlife. In other words, it's like a kind of luxury patong. But if we all know that Patong is about 2- and 3-star hotels, lots of transvestites, various shows and loud music, then here, of course, the crowd in Bang Tao is much more affluent and respectable, and I am sure that this location will become lively again, and we will all hear about it very, very soon. And right now, investors have the opportunity to grab this very prime piece of land, which, by the way, is 1.5 times cheaper than land on the first coastline of such popular beaches as Kata and Karan. Continuing on from the topic of land, let me tell you what else we have here. We've already mentioned Catch. Lazy Coconut is also a beach club, which belongs to the Thai Twinpalms group. This group also includes Montazur on the first coastline of Kamala Beach, the Twinpalms Hotel on Surin, a luxurious restaurant, the Wagyu Steakhouse, which is the top steakhouse on Phuket Island, Bape, and much more. But few people know that inside Lazy Coconut itself, if you go a little further in, there is their new 5-star hotel designed in the style of a tent camp. I've stayed there many times myself, so I've personally experienced all its delights. You live in a real tent under a canopy, but it's fully equipped with air conditioning, beautiful white sheets and towels. In short, everything you need for a comfortable stay. It's a unique concept and a way to bypass the law regarding permanent construction in a legal zone. We also have the Amora Hotel here. And this is where things get really interesting, because right on the border with the Amora Hotel, Laguna, our developer who owns as much as 485 hectares of land, this master developer who has been shaping the most luxurious 5-star resorts here for over 38 years, including the renowned banyan tree Angsana, Dusit Thani and Sai, all located on his land, is now creating his newest and most expensive 5-star hotel right on the beach. It will be called Garrya. As for me, of course, even without knowing yet what segment they will be selling there, I immediately told the management that I'm reserving, no matter what you end up doing there. Because analyzing my previous experience, when in this exact same location, one of my apartments increased by 248% over 2.5 years on the invested capital, since I invest with a 5-year installment plan after construction is completed, just 100 meters from the very plot of land we were just talking about. All these figures are easy to verify. You can request them from me. I can easily even send the documents, check the market price. So, this kind of capitalization has been observed on the island of Phuket in recent years. So, understanding this dynamic and analytics and the fact that there are no new resorts or buildings on the beach anymore, all the hotels here are old, they're 30, almost 40 years old, and they're not luxury. And here, for the first time in 30 years, a real resort will be built, complete with its own beach club, conference hall, spa, wellness and medical center, a huge children's area, and restaurants. But in addition to this, Laguna did not stop at just developing its 5-star resort. Right here on the left side, right on Bang Tao Beach, right here, there will be 5 villas for $7.5 million, which were sold immediately in the first 2 weeks after the release for $7.5 million. Guys, many of you think that we don't have such prices in Phuket. Yes, we do. And in fact, there are quite a lot of truly luxurious, large, high-quality projects that are in demand. And right behind them, there will be triplexes costing $3 million each, which you can still, in principle, invest in. It's kind of like the second line, but it's still the second line of the first line. So why am I telling you all this? The point is that this area will become a magnet for the most solvent, affluent audience. We're talking about a location that starts from Catch and ends exactly at the 5-star Sai Hotel. And now we come to the Laguna Beachside project, which is located right at the entrance to this resort and which in fact delivered 248% returns in 2.5 years. Let me remind you that when you invest in Laguna properties, the developer itself offers you an installment plan for up to 5 years after construction is completed. Accordingly, you pay 50% during the construction phase. Usually, this takes about 2 to 3 years. But there are some projects that are released well before the official start date. Like right now, there is a fantastic property on the golf course with only 113 apartments starting from 2 bedrooms. And because the construction will be completed in 2030, you have the opportunity to pay these first 50% all the way up to 2030, and the remaining 50% over 5 years after completion at 7% interest on the balance. This means that you can already live there, you can rent it out, and use the rental payments to cover your installment plan. But the most important thing is that the return on your invested capital actually doubles. After all, with any strategy, whether it's resale or renting out, you've only paid 50%. Using my own personal example, we are now approaching Laguna Beachside, where I will show you how the infrastructure is set up, what the overall construction quality is like, and we'll talk more about all the developments and why this particular area, this territory, is going to experience incredible growth over the next 5, 10, 15, and 20 years. And by using the same investment strategy, I personally paid half over 2.5 years and then used an installment plan, and this property of mine has grown by as much as 248% on the invested capital, just like it has for all my investors. But the thing is, while many clients want to lock in their profits and immediately resell, I, understanding just how dynamic and fast-growing our market is, and knowing that you simply can't buy anything 100 meters from the beach for that kind of money anymore, of course I don't sell such a golden asset, I rent it out instead. Moreover, since the apartment is 100 square meters with 2 bedrooms, I enclosed the entire terrace with glass, installed air conditioning, and put in a full-size fold-out sofa there, which effectively turns the 2 bedrooms into 3. Thus, in just 1 year of renting, the difference between the rent for a 3-bedroom and a 2-bedroom apartment covered all the expenses for this kind of renovation, which allowed me to further increase my margin. That's the simple strategy. Here we are on the rooftop of Laguna Beachside, just 100 meters from Bang Tao Beach, right on the border of the 5-star Sai Resort. And you can see what a beautiful and vast infrastructure there is on the rooftop. The pool is incredibly long, there are barbecue areas, a children's playground, and a gym inside the complex. So when you invest in Laguna properties in a condominium, you're not just buying square meters. Most importantly, you're buying the infrastructure. But specifically, if we're talking about this area, you're buying the entire Laguna, and it's all about the pathways, sidewalks, greenery, and flowers. You can easily walk to any restaurant or beach club. By the way, speaking of beach clubs, Laguna residents, specifically owners of premium real estate here, have free access to the Rava Beach Club, which Laguna invested $12 million into. It was built literally at the end of last year, and you can use the sun loungers there for free, as well as get a 25% discount on food. Of course, with such conditions, it's very pleasant to invest. Why do I consider this area undervalued? Because right now it's basically one big construction site, and people simply don't understand what is going to be developed here. And now I'll gradually explain it to you. Right behind me, right on the border with Laguna Beachside and the entire beautiful Laguna area, is the Poetry Villa community. We have a very detailed review about it on our YouTube channel because, in my personal opinion, as someone who has been analyzing and investing in this market for over 11 years, these villas will multiply in value many times over in the next 10 years. And that's all because there simply aren't any villas within walking distance to the beach. Physically, they just don't exist. The only such villas are located within the luxurious 5-star Banyan Tree Resort, where prices already start at $4 million. Moreover, those same apartments with private pools start at $3 million, while here for about $2 million, you can buy a large villa of 560 square meters with 7-meter-high ceilings, 4 bedrooms, and just a short walk from Bang Tao Beach. Just 100 meters from Bang Tao Beach, not only is our luxurious property located, but there is also a Muslim cemetery which, yes, is active and in use, but it looks more like a well-maintained park. But when I was selling apartments inside this complex, I would always start with this information right away. That there is one small nuance. This quiet neighbor. Half the people would immediately say, no, we're not interested. But the other half of investors, people like me, would think, well, it's 100 meters from the beach and there's an 8-year installment plan. Come on, this is definitely going to appreciate. And that's exactly what happened. Basically, people don't pay attention to it when they rent, and they don't even know about the existence of this, let's say, quiet neighbor. But nearby, right on the border, also 100 meters from Bang Tao Beach, there's another new 5-star resort where you can't buy anything because it's being built by the Twinpalms brand, the same people behind Catch Beach Club, Lazy Coconut, Twinpalms Hotel, and Mont Azur. And they're creating the newest, most luxurious resort with their own beach club. Can you imagine how much the value and the level of people coming here, specifically a solvent, affluent audience, will be concentrated in this very place? Take a look at how interestingly the project is designed. All 4 buildings are connected by walkways, and the entire roof is accessible to residents of all the buildings. And the roof isn't just about the pool and relaxation areas. There are plenty of tables, chairs, loungers, and even barbecue zones. So you can bring your own food and cook your meal at sunset with a sea view. Also, right on this lawn, I hired a Muay Thai trainer, and we did group workouts here, then jumped into the pool afterward. So the area really lets you enjoy all the pleasures of life in Thailand. Can you imagine? There are even exercise machines on the roof, an elliptical, and you can work out there. You look out and see the mountains as you exercise. And by the way, the most important thing is that, first of all, the apartments here are available for rent. They come in 3 layouts, 60 square meters, 99 square meters, and 131 square meters. So these are 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and 3-bedroom apartments. And to buy them, there are no installment plans like with Laguna. These are all resale properties now. Therefore, prices for 1-bedroom apartments start at $369,000. Prices for 2-bedroom apartments start at $700,000. And for 3-bedroom apartments, it's around $900,000. So you can find options within this price range. But now, I'll tell you about a project that I actually consider the most underrated in all of Laguna, because it's exactly like this one, only it has 2 major advantages. It's already completed, and you can also get a 5-year installment plan directly from Laguna. Let's go take a look at it. And this is exactly the project that's underrated. And what makes it different from Beachside, where we are right now? First, it has a covered underground parking lot on the first floor. The parking at our current property, where we are now, you have to walk to it about 150 meters away. But you know, when you're walking in 30-degree heat and, for example, carrying grocery bags, even those 150 meters really matter. And here your car doesn't get hot and you can park right on the first floor. That's the first point. The second point is that inside the complex there are only 45 apartments, and they are all either 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom units. And this leads to the third point. The absence of 1-bedroom apartments means that the residents are a fairly affluent audience who specifically want spacious apartments and are mostly families. And the fourth point, which is the most important, is that in front of the project, in front of Seashore, there is only a single villa owned by a Russian man, and it does not block the sea view. And even from the 2nd floor, the apartments have a partial sea view, while from the 4th and 5th floors, by the way, let me remind you that in Phuket, there are height restrictions for construction, no more than 23 meters, and in locations up to 500, or more precisely, up to 300 meters from the beach, you can build no more than 5 floors. And that's why there are only 5-story buildings here, and from the 4th and 5th floors, you get a fantastic direct sea view. But that's not all. Since the property is already built and ready, you pay the first 50% upfront, and the remaining 50% can be paid in installments over 5 years at 7% interest on the outstanding balance. Now we've moved to the tented camp by Twinpalms. This is a 5-star hotel made up of these luxurious tents, yet it offers the full infrastructure of a 5-star hotel and is located right on the beach. Literally, there isn't even a path. It's just directly on the sand. You can have breakfast at Catch, where they serve absolutely amazing breakfasts and brunches. And here the area is designed so that there are no enclosed villas, but all these little villas still have their own private pools and offer such spacious views. But returning to our topic today and continuing about what will be implemented here, right on the border with this place, not only will a new 5-star Garrya resort be built, which I've already told you about, but also behind it a residential section with only 21 apartments. That is, when the 5-star hotel is built, and when another 5-star hotel from the same developer is constructed, of course, this entire area, including the beach, where beach clubs will become even more active, will see a significant increase in value. And the land, the last plot of land that can still be purchased, has extraordinary value in terms of logistics and location. Additionally, the projects that have already been built here, like the Seashore that I just showed you, will naturally also be in high demand because residents will be able to use the 5-star infrastructure of the neighboring Harry Hotel. And in the Harry residential building, you can still buy an apartment with full ownership, 58 square meters, and during the construction phase over the next 3 years, you pay 50%, and the remaining 50% can be paid in installments over as much as 5 years at 7% interest on the balance. These are absolutely fantastic terms, considering the fact that you have full ownership of a 5-star hotel. You are not just buying an apartment or square meters, you are buying the infrastructure of a first-line beachfront property. What do you think? Will such real estate increase in value? And perhaps the last property I'd like to highlight in this location is the entire Andaman City. You could say it's a city, but it's located right in this area on Bang Tao beach. What is Andaman City? We have a huge detailed review of this project, but it actually includes 3 developments, one of which is already fully completed. These are Andaman Riviera by Radisson Individuals, as well as Andaman Boutique and Andaman Atrium. All 3 properties are united by a vast infrastructure that includes a medical center, sports facilities, saunas, swimming pools. Pools are spread throughout the entire area, a huge children's complex, and also a medical center offering a full range of services such as IV treatments, urology, massages, and weight loss programs. Some of these procedures are already available on the territory of Andaman City at Andaman Riviera, and in the future a large medical center is planned. In general, a lot has already been implemented there, but the main highlight of the property, aside from the infrastructure and its location just 500 meters from the beach, is the materials they use for construction. These are people who are creating a project for the ages, using aviation-grade aluminum that covers all the building's facades, protecting them from moisture, bacteria, and the growth of mold. Everything is made of glass, with double-glazed windows, heavy German glass, concrete waterproofing, kitchens that are impervious to moisture and will serve you forever, and much, much more. I hope I have given you a very detailed overview of what is going to be built here, why it is worth investing in this particular plot of land and these projects in this location today. If you are considering investment property, or a joint venture on the island of Phuket, purchasing land, or implementing your own development project, don't hesitate to contact me right now. This was Diana Fedorova with you, a professional overseas real estate investor with more than 11 years of experience. And I'll see you either in Phuket or in Dubai.